When Alina and I got married over in Russia, we had a reception at a local restaurant. We rented out for the afternoon, and we weren't really sure how many people were coming to the wedding, but more people showed up than we expected. And so when it came to the reception, there was just a lot of food out there, and people could just take what they wanted and help themselves. And a lot of the people who attended our wedding were young people from our youth group. And so you can imagine what happened. All these hungry teenagers got in line very early, and they took very generous helpings of the food that was there, and the food ran out at our wedding. It actually did. The food ran out. In fact, is when we got there, Alina and I, after taking pictures, of course, we're the last people there. There was nothing there to eat at our wedding reception. And so the guy who was our pastor that married us, he ran outside and found a little fruit stand and bought a couple bananas. And so he brought them back. And so Alina and I at our wedding reception each had a banana. Makes life interesting, but that's the way it turned out. It was nice. All our friends and many of our family were there. So it was very nice to be able to have that. But anyway, the Bible begin. I tell that story because I'm talking about. I'm going to be talking about heaven this Sunday in the sermon, and thinking about the fact that the Book of Revelation talks about heaven as being like a wedding feast. Um, is it something that goes on forever and ever? I don't know. We're not sure if it's kind of a one-time, like, welcome to heaven kind of big party, or whether heaven's a big party for all of time. We're not really sure how that works. Time is probably a very different dimension there than it is for us. But anyway, um, wedding receptions can be very, very fun because we're celebrating love and celebrating a new family that's brought together here. There was a time in our culture, and for maybe some of you, that the wedding reception was some cake and punch and some nuts and some mints, and people enjoyed just visiting with one another. And then it came to where it had to have a big meal and a dance and DJ and so many different things. Things have really gotten to be a big deal. But in God's economy of heaven, us being there is a big deal, and we look forward to the time when we can be there. And in Ephesians chapter 5, when it talks about the husband and the wife, the passage that's read at many weddings, it talks about how Christ loves the church, and the church is like the bride of Christ. And when we get to heaven, it's going to be a big, big celebration, um, bigger than anything we've ever seen here. And I'm sure we'll have more than bananas to eat there. But we are looking forward to that day. And I think just recently, having a couple dear ones pass away and go to heaven, there's comfort in the thought that they're up there where the celebration is, and they're able to participate in the glory of God in a way that we only see glimpses of here on earth. We're told in 1 Corinthians 13 that we just see a little bit of what heaven is. And when we look deep down into our hearts, we see the Christ, the King of heaven, and we just get a little glimpse of what heaven will be like when we can be with him face to face. So just some thoughts about heaven. And as we go into this coming Sunday's sermon, when we talk about glorification, the fact that we get to experience the glory of God in the biggest, fullest way possible. So I hope you can tune in this Sunday for that. I've enjoyed preparing this week. There's so many things we could say about heaven and experiencing the glory of God. But I wanted to give that little preview here today as we're moving through the week. Hope you're having a good week, and we'll talk to you later.